Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about managing your finances. So if you're planning on moving to Thailand, there are some things you're going to want to do ahead of time before you do come here to Thailand, and some things once you do arrive to make managing your money very easy. So step number one is you need to contact all of your financial institutions and let them know that you're either going to be in Thailand for a long time, or you could just tell them you're moving to Thailand. So you're going to want to let them know that, so you don't get all the way over here and you haven't exchanged your money yet, or you're going to, and you try to use your ATM machine or your credit card and it gets declined because there's a transaction in a foreign country that they're not aware of. So make sure you do contact all of your financial institutions and let them know, again, that you're going to be going to Thailand for a long stay, and please don't block any transactions that you will do in Thailand. Second of all, make sure that if you're going to have a credit card here, you've got one that doesn't charge foreign transaction fees. Otherwise, every time you use that credit card, it's really going to cost you. You might as well go ahead and get one that doesn't give you foreign transaction fees. Now, I'm not going to tell you which card to find. I can just tell you the one that we use and it doesn't have it is our Capital One card. So if you don't have a Capital One and you got something else, check with your credit cards and find out if there is a foreign transaction fee. If there is, it's not really a card you're going to want to use here, simply because you're going to keep on tacking on additional charges that you could easily avoid if you had a credit card that didn't charge foreign transaction fees. The next thing you're going to want to iron out before you leave your home country for Thailand, and that is figuring out how you're going to transfer money from your home country to Thailand. So my guess is you may be living off some sort of income that gets deposited in your home country, whether it be retirement, whether it be some sort of job you have, but you got to have a viable way to transfer large sums of money from your home country to Thailand. Now, I'm going to tell you what we came from the United States. I'm going to tell you what we used. Don't know if this is going to work all over the world, but I'm going to let you know what we used. It was a service called Wise, W-I-S-E, and it is a company that helps us transfer money from our banking account in the U.S. to Thailand. Now, there's several ways you could do it, and some of the ways cost more than others, even within Wise itself. The cheapest way that we found to transfer money from the U.S. to Thailand is by using Wise and linking our bank account to Wise. So we're not using a credit card to transfer the money. It's coming directly out of our bank account in the U.S. and it's wired through Wise. That seems to be the cheapest way. There are other companies that Wise competes with. Make sure to check those out as well. If you know anything better than Wise, please leave that down in the comments so we all know. Another thing you're going to want to make sure you're good to go with, and that is the two-step authentication. So in other words, let's say you're here in Thailand and you want to do something, let's say on a banking website from your home country. And it may say we want to do a two-step authentication. And let's say one of the main ways is to send a notification to your phone. Only your new phone number is now here in Thailand, and it won't send an authentication to a foreign country. Hopefully you can have the second one emailed to you or something like that. But if you can't, and I'm going to give you these steps. It's from the US, not sure works everywhere, is with Google Voice. So I'm going to leave a link down in the description for Google Voice porting. And basically what that is in a nutshell is we wanted to keep our US numbers, but we wanted a Thai phone number. So what we did is we took our existing US phone numbers, had them ported to Google Voice, came to Thailand, got a new phone, got a new Thai number. But if anyone calls our old number in the United States, it gets sent through Google Voice and we get text messages and voicemail letting us know that we had a call, who it's from, and we can also do the two-step authentication using that method. So make sure you check out the link and check that out. Another thing you're going to want to do before you come here, bring cash. So bring cash immediately when you come over, and let me explain. Don't wait to get it, bought out of the ATM machine when you get here. Bring cash from your home country. Just in case you land in the plane, you go to the ATM machine, you forgot to notify your banks that you're here, or they didn't do their part when you talk to the customer service rep or whatever. You go to use your ATM machine and it's declined because you're trying to use an ATM machine in Thailand and you can't get any money out. Then you go to use your credit card and the credit card gets declined because you're trying to use it in Thailand. If you have cash when you first get here, that will at least get you out of the airport, into a taxi, into your hotel, and you got a little while to iron it all out with the banks. Now, once you're here in Thailand, I would suggest very much so opening up a Thai bank account. Isn't the easiest thing in the world to do. You may need a Thai friend or maybe even a visa service company to help you with it. If you're coming over here on a tourist visa, it's almost impossible, not impossible, nearly impossible to open up a checking account. You're going to need to show different things like a long-term visa. Some of them, the banks want to see some sort of long-term lease agreement. It's kind of like pulling teeth to try to open up a banking account, but it's well worth it when you do. You can do things like bank transfers to pay for things here in Thailand. You'll have a Thailand debit card and you have a bank account where you can transfer money from your account from your home country to your new Thai bank account. Now, when you're moving money back and forth from your home country to Thailand, you want to keep an eye on the exchange rates. Because if you get the exchange rates when they're higher, it may work in your favor and you can get more of your currency from your home country moved into baht. It may work in your favor, where other times it may not. So if you're not used to watching the exchange rate, you may want to start watching it now before you come over and kind of get the gist of how everything works, what to look for, what's the current baht rate now, what's the historical baht rate to your currency, because that is something you're going to want to keep an eye on to save money. Another thing to consider when we're talking about money, now that you're here in Thailand, would be buying a VPN, which is extremely cheap. Just do a VPN, which if you don't know what a VPN, it's basically a way to secure your transactions online, and you can fool the servers. Let's say you're wanting to go on a banking account from your home country. If you just get on a browser without a VPN, it's going to know you're in Thailand, and it may say, we're not letting some foreign country have anything to do with your bank account and block you off of it. But if you have a VPN, you can put in, let's say the country, if you're from the US, United States. Therefore, it fools the banking website that you're doing this transaction within the United States. So not only is it better to protect your information online, but it's also a way to bypass any security on the other end that would block you from doing your normal transactions online. Now, last but not least, and probably one of the most important things to take into consideration, is your tax liability here in Thailand. For one, I'm speaking as a United States citizen. Do we still need to do taxes in the US? Absolutely. We found somebody that handles that. It really, you can use just about anybody. We use H&R Block if you really want to know who we use, and they still do our taxes. There's some other things, and I won't get into, I'm not a tax expert, but there's a thing called an F bar that you may want to do a Google search for. That's F as in Frank, B-A-R, F bar. So that is something I know that we have to deal with our tax agent. And another thing is there's been a lot of things circulating around the internet about these laws that are changing in Thailand that appears that Thailand is going to tax your income. So when you first look at it, it looks like, wait a minute, well, I'm paying my taxes, let's say in the US, and then they're going to tax me again here. Just know this and do a Google search for it. Again, make sure you double check everything I ever say. There is a tax treaty between many countries and Thailand that will not allow double taxation. The US, the UK, Australia, Canada, there's many countries. They have a double taxation law, and that is that a US citizen, for example, cannot come over here and make a living in the United States, be taxed on that money, and then you're re-taxed again here in Thailand. There's laws against that. But for more information, look these things up again and look up double taxation laws between the US or your home country and Thailand for more information on that. Well, if any of these videos we've done have been helpful to you, we hope that you will consider giving them a thumbs up and subscribing. We'd really appreciate it. And if you feel so inclined, buy us a coffee, link down in the description. And if you do need to have a one-on-one video chat with me sometime to ask me some in-depth questions, there is a link in the Buy Me a Coffee app where you can book that. So thank you very much for watching. And until next time, Kap Kun Kap.